Hello. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I guess in a while is like a week, maybe a little bit less. For me, it feels like a long time because I'm doing so much right now before I go back home. And ignore the mess we have going on back here because I'm in the middle of packing. It's hectic. It's a lot. But with moving things, there's always there are always a lot of thoughts that come up, a lot of reflections when it comes to packing up your entire life into different boxes, and something that I'm having a lot of trouble with right now is deciding what to keep and what to throw away. And this doesn't have to do just with material things, but it can also deal with relationships, friendships, that sort of thing, jobs, different opportunities, different paths that I can take. Like, which ones am I actively deciding to give up? What needs to be thrown away so that there can be more space for other things? And that's kind of in the abstract realm, but I have a memory box where I keep things that I've gotten from people or things that remind me of certain time periods in my life, and I'm going through it and I'm not really sure if I want to keep keeping things, if I want to keep storing things. This connection or this relationship that we have with material things as being part of who we are is something that I constantly keep coming back to, and I try to orient myself to that question in different ways. Like, why am I so attached to these things? Not necessarily in a way of like, I want this certain item of clothing, or like, I want these shoes. Like, it's not really in that way, but more so things that are attached to certain memories. I'm scared that without those physical objects, I'll forget about certain things in my life. That's more about like that feels like it's more of a worry for me, and rather than like comparing material objects, like what I have versus like what other people have, like that's not really my worry. It's more about, again, things that relate to a certain memory or a certain time period in my life. What happens when I get rid of them? Because I feel like the memories will go away if I don't have this physical like instantiation of it. And I guess I'm realizing that might not be entirely true. I mean, yes, I am likely to forget things. That will happen. There will be parts of my life that I absolutely forget. And that's just something that I have to be okay with. Like, why is it that I want to remember everything? That's a really interesting question for me. And it has, been reappearing during this phase of moving out. It always comes back to me during these moments of transition. And yeah, I'm torn between just accepting that some things are meant to stay in the past, and some of those versions of myself are meant to be in the past, and they were actualized. Those were realities that I did inhabit at one point, and they're the most real because they achieved or didn't achieve their desires, or they achieved or didn't achieve their goals, but the paths that they chose have already been taken. I can't go back and like change whatever they did. So they'll always exist, in the timeline within me. And I guess there might be an underlying fear that if I no longer have these certain objects, I won't have a reference point to return to of who I was back then. And I think for me that can be a bit scary. I'm not exactly sure why, or why I like holding on to these physical reminders of certain things. Like I have a badge from my work, from the grocery store that I worked at, like during high school. So about 4 years ago. Actually, no, I started 4 years ago, but it was like 2.5 years ago when I stopped working there. I have like random notebooks. I have my old journals. Those I feel like I do want to keep. I have, like ticket stubs or movie stubs and things like that. And I don't know if accumulating all of these things is, I guess, good or the right thing to do or useful. I feel like it takes up so much space. And so I guess that will still be something that I continue figuring out. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to share this reflection of like the difficulty of choosing what to keep and what to let go. And yeah, I guess in this video it's more about the physical objects and our attachment to them. But again, I think that this uncertainty of choosing what to, let go can also apply to more abstract things or more interpersonal things. But yeah, hope y'all are doing okay. I've got a lot of packing to do still, so I'll see y'all very soon. Bye.